everyone, and welcome to another Zenphi tutorial. Today I have a very exciting tutorial that I'm sure is going to be helpful for many different departments. Today we're going to be going over how you can analyze files using AI, specifically files that come in through links, maybe not as attachments. In this example, we're going to be going over how you can do this with Google Drive. Since Google Drive does have files that you are able to download, you can generate a download link. If the specific application where you want to be able to download the files has a download link, then you can implement this method as well. Keep in mind that Google Drive files do appear as attachments in emails, so you don't even have to go through this if you're using Google Drive files, but this is just a way to be able to showcase how the process would look. Here we have our example email. As we can see, we have the link in the body of the email. And for the actual flow, the trigger is the Gmail trigger, meaning it's going to arrive through an email. This will ensure that your flow starts as soon as an email arrives into your inbox. Here you're able to create your connection. You're able to add a conditional run as well. Maybe you only want it to run when the email contains a certain subject, when it's from a certain sender. Then what we're going to do is use regex to be able to actually find the URLs. We're going to be using the HTML body, which is where the text appears. And then here we have the pattern. You can use our AI assistant Zaya to be able to generate the regular expression. You can receive help from Gemini, so don't feel like you have to do this yourself. Once it has found the different URLs within the email, since there may be more than one, we're going to go ahead and pass that information to Gemini. I'm using the generate text with Gemini action. Here I'm letting it know that it needs to be parsed from this URL to extract the invoice number, the amount, and the due date. I have provided the schema. I have also indicated the output as JSON. Now, in this case, I'm using Gemini to be able to extract the fields. So this is the generate text with Gemini action. It has a prompt indicating what we need to extract. I've also indicated the output as JSON, and I've added a sample schema as well. And then we're going to parse that information using convert JSON to object. So here we have our sample schema once again. And this will ensure that we extract the invoice number, the amount, and the due date for each one of the different URLs. So since we have a collection of URLs, I want to be able to send the task for each one of the URLs. And then here what we're doing is assigning a task for each one of the different URLs found. So if there's 3 URLs, it would generate 3 tasks. However, you can modify the flow if you prefer to have 1 task for each one of those, provide the link for each one of those as well. So it really depends on your process. If you prefer for them to be separated, if you want just 1 task for all of the invoices within the email, you can customize it by changing the for each loop maybe to a query collection. So you can really customize this process as well. And now if we run a test with the email that I showed as the example earlier, we'll go ahead and do a test run. As you can see, since there's only 1 URL, it only generated 1 task. And here we have what it looks like. So we can see the invoice number, the amount, the due date. It also has a link. And then down at the bottom, since it's a Google Drive link, as mentioned, when you attach a link in the body of an email, it'll show as an attachment as well. That way they're easily able to reference it. However, if it's not a Google Drive specific file, you can still add the link. That way they're able to view it. And that would be everything. I'm sure this use case is going to be helpful for a lot of you who receive files via email. So if you want to try it out and see if you're able to extract fields that way, maybe your files don't come in as attachments, but you do receive a lot of links, this would be a great thing to try out and see if it's helpful and helps you save some time. Thank you so much for watching.